And the one she said that your better pricing for public schools, I guess, was one. And she said I need to talk to the R&D folks. I wanted to figure out how to do a multiple choice where you can pick more than one. And a matching template. These are things that I use a lot in WebCT. Like a matching template would be really cool to be able to work with. I find, and I think Nathan too, that the formatting of the graphics and the text kind of compete with each other. And then if you do something, all of a sudden it get reset. And there's a lot of angst there. So I got to the point I just left it alone. But things I wanted to do there, I think that could be easier. Nathan, you want to comment on number 2?
Oh, well, I just my school has not adopted the Mac platform. I really, really love the visual things that Apple decides to do. I mean, when they design something, it's beautiful. And the charts and the things we have with Excel, they're effective and readable and everything like that. But I think a lot could be done. I don't know about animation or Flash-based stuff. Those are things I know very little about. But I think things could be prettier. And you know, the nicer, the more pleasing it is to the eye, the more people are drawn to it. And I just, you know, they're not. I don't want to say they're clunky, but they are definitely. I don't know.
Yeah, I realize that the graphics are all based on what PowerPoint does with graphics. Yeah. And in Keynote, which us Mac folks use, you can do a lot prettier graphics. And also that graphic editor on the Windows side of PowerPoint is a real klutzy thing to mess with.
But again, it's not a functionality issue. It doesn't do anything with how the product works or how effective it is. I just am one of those people that, hey, I like to see something that not only works well, but that's really pretty too. So that's all that I was going to say about that.
Yeah, well, we could get the software implemented for Keynote. That would take care of some of it. That would be great. Is that right? Okay. And then I'm anxious to see, your tech support people were great about calling me. I was actually driving across I-80 in a snowstorm going to Bowling Green, and the phone rang, and I thought, oh, who is this? And they chatted with me for quite a while about the Mac version. So I'm anxious to see the next version. What I missed was my priority ranking slides. And then I'd like to be able to put the count up there graphically. If any two things I'd ask for right away were those. The thing that I was most pleased with, it was really stable. You know, being 1.0, you know, I can't remember it ever crashed and burned on me. So, but those were two features that I kind of missed there.
Go ahead. The next one's mine, and I think I mentioned this to you guys in our little chat in the other room. The more flexible and powerful wizard for the reports. You know, is there a way that through a wizard or some kind of step-by-step process, I can get only the information I want or exactly the information I want? You know, just and again, I'm an 8-week-old user, so I don't know. I haven't really had enough time to go through and see really what I could get. And if I was a more powerful Excel user, I might be able to get this stuff on my own. But I'm sure, you know, the shortest distance between those would really be a helpful thing with the reports. You know, as far as I'm concerned, really great start. It was easy to use with no manual. But how can I get in there and really mine that information I want? Like, for instance, since I have to do right now I have to do it in 3 teams. How can I put all those together so I'm ready with a nice class list in my gradebook? And you know, that may not be something we need to do because I just need some more clickers, but just different things, a wizard based or something like that that can tell me exactly the information I need that way, instead of giving me a set of things that I can do like it is now. Is there a way that we can get right to what we want?
I'm anxious to see the TurningPoint Lite, to see if there's a way I can make that work with some music software. I mean, if I understand it, it's supposed to work as an overlay with anything. So if you're looking for somebody at the beta level to try it with some music stuff, I'd love to do that because
TurningPoint Lite will definitely address his problem with the graphics because we aren't bound to PowerPoint.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
TurningPoint Lite will be a much better graphical experience.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm anxious to see if I'm teaching a unit, if I'm doing something with GarageBand or Sibelius notation, which I do workshops around the country on, if I could have a way. I'd be interested to see how that would interface. So.
And mine is the last one on there. Smarter pricing structure for K-12. I hear it's happened already, but I understand at the collegiate level, which is I'm sure probably your biggest market, that it can be a certain way there. But for us public school people that are really excited about this and know the potential of it, it's a little hard for us to put into our budgets right now. So I think it's probably a combination of getting the word out to K-12 and maybe a smarter pricing structure. I didn't say cheaper, I said smarter.
He's buying them one at a time as they show up on eBay.
So that's my short-term solution. Short-term solution is trying to get some on there, and all the ones I've gotten so far have worked no problem. So, what's that? Oh yeah, they were really expensive. They were really expensive. They were really expensive right at the beginning of the semester when all the college students were buying them. And then as college students bought them, apparently, and then saw they weren't going to really be used in their classroom, they started going up there, and we started snapping them up. So, I'm going to do anything I can to get everybody their own clicker.
Now, when we walk into a pawn shop and see them sitting there. Questions or suggestions? I mean, we're from any of you?
One thought I had for your decision-making, there is a decision-making wizard in there to allow you to go through a pretty intensive decision-making process with a quadrant type of analysis even.
Okay.
And it's a really flexible tool where you can get input from the group, get their ideas, actually type it up, and then instantly move to voting in kind of priority.
All right, I'll be anxious to look at that. That's sort of that next. I'm going to go. I hope some of those things are covered, like in that advanced hands-on tomorrow, because that would be great.
Yeah, that would be the ranking wizard, right? And it allows you to take a list of items and rank them on 3 different criteria. So you get X, Y, and the decoy, which should be the size of the bubble on the
Okay.
coin. But you can also do a compared comparison, that same thing, where you can compare each individual item to every other item compared to the different criteria as well. So it's pretty.
Okay, that gives me something new to play around with. That's great. Other questions or helpful suggestions for us or anything?
I haven't used priority ranking, but you asked everybody to put 3 in, and then does it show you what priority 1, priority 2, and priority 3, or it just gives you the total?
It weights it. It weights it. So, I guess.
The first response would be worth 10. Your second response would be worth 9.
Oh, okay.
So it's a cumulative thing,
okay.
right? Now, what you were just describing, I don't remember if you're Dan or David. Don. Sorry, I was close though. What you were just describing though would be a more sophisticated. You just talked about this ranking.
The ranking wizard, yeah.
Would be more sophisticated if you wanted to break things down.
Yeah, that allows you to compare it to criteria.
But I think it worked with the deans and directors because they felt, I mean, they're used to decisions like that, right? So this weighting and ranking was very comfortable for them.
Just as an example, internally we use the ranking wizard anytime that we come up with a new product. Even our hardware company, Response Innovations, when we came up with a name for that company, we had like 60-some names that we liked. Nobody could agree on. So we throw them in the ranking wizard. Everybody ranks stuff on, criteria 1, does it make sense for the, what we're trying to do with the company, or, several different criteria, and then voila, you get the final result, and nobody can really argue because everybody contributed to that.
Now you get like the one person I had is we're going out to dinner and said, well, I really didn't think that worked very well because we didn't get to talk about it enough. Other questions or comments?
I have to echo Doug's in his presentation. From the website's design and usability to the salesperson that I was dealing with, their responsiveness to any technical questions I had. I mean, this is, as far as I'm concerned, is an all-star organization. You guys are fantastic at your. I would continue to spend the money in places you're spending the money. especially for usability on the website. It's easy to navigate. It looks good. And that's kind of where my could things look any better thing came from, because so much of the other stuff I see from you guys is fantastic. I'm excited about using.
Did you say that?
As a company, you guys are top notch as far as I'm concerned.
From my office perspective, the support we've got from the county has been exceptional.
Yeah.
And for tech companies who normally don't do so hot.
Well, whoever I was talking to, when they found out I was driving through a snowstorm, they suddenly went, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, "No, I'm okay." I know.
Oh, really? You're calling me?
I'm only going 35 miles an hour, but we're getting there. It's great to have somebody to talk to.
To your, the pretty design, he hit the nail on the head when he said we're confined within the constraints.
Bound within, yeah.
PowerPoint, all of our shapes are native PowerPoint shapes, and native PowerPoint shapes are ugly so pretty. And then up until 2000, even Microsoft used what they call the graph.exe to use all of their charting object models. So 2007, they made a shift into what they call Excel charts now. So you can do a little bit more with them. Actually, Blake here is an expert on them, and so they'll be hopefully snazzier.
But then we'll get the Keynote version, and that'll help the Mac. Yeah. Any other comments? Or thank you, folks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.